Evening. I'm going to talk to you about a project I've undertaken in the last 5 days. It's Tuesday the 7th of April 2015 right now, and since about Thursday last week I've been working on a project to create myself a little dungeon crawler. 2D, nothing spectacular. The purpose being I've not had any decent graphics work done in C++ for about 2 years. I've not really touched it. I've done stuff in C#, and I've dabbled in things in Java, as you've seen on my blog, but the Java stuff hasn't gone down with other people. The reason I chose Java was just to get a simple graphics context, use it and stay away from C#, but I don't want to impose C# on people, not least because Microsoft have stopped supporting it. So what am I left with? Well, I was going to use SDL, simple direct media layer. I'd watched a couple of videos from Steamworks about people using it to create OpenGL. Because I was going to use OpenGL, but I've tried that before and it's just so complex, and you can't get information about OpenGL 4 or 3 or whatever the latest version is, and then you get tutorials for 1.1 and then it don't make sense, and then you try it one way and you try another way, and it was just no information out there that was coherent and simple. SDL, coherent, simple. I've been using lazyfoo.net as my tutorial point, and what I've come up with at the moment is the very basic, the nucleus, which I'm going to show you in a second. I'm going to run it up. I've got Visual Studio 2013 Express linking to Boost for some of the file system stuff, which is at boost.org. And then I've used SDL as well as SDL Image and SDL Mixer to load PNGs and run sound. You won't hear any sound in this because the sound card is attached to the streaming software that I'm recording this with, but it has sound. I can't draw, so I have borrowed a couple of graphics here. There's some Fruit Machine stuff from work, and a stone tile background I got off Google, off the internet. Whoever's you are, I've just borrowed it. It's no big deal, it's not staying. The maps can be quite big. The big map, or as I'm going to call it, an adventure, the biggest I've actually run is 200 by 200, which is huge. It all depends how big your graphics card can handle a texture. The actual grid that you see, the map, is a single texture built up from all the bits with all the cross hatchings and the types I've been put on there. So depending on how big your graphics driver lets SDL create that texture is how big an adventure you'll be able to run. We'll handle this all later. We'll have small ones or big ones or individual ones. Little ones tend to be good. I like to have them bigger than a screen, so you do have to scroll across, and that's something I'm working on, getting the scrolling smooth, having areas for menus, and I'm sort of laying things out. So I'm going to fire it up now. It's huge. I've got 2 monitors here. The code is on this one. You're on this camera, obviously. The code is on this one, and the game's going to run up on this monitor. So you'll see me pointing and maybe gesticulating. Really, it's just about what I'm doing on screen. So let's run it up. It helps if you highlight Visual Studio. There we go. Here it comes. And we're up. This is my basic framework. The number you see there is that number ticking past in the top corner there, just above me there, is just my delta time, how often I'm rendering things. At the moment I'm getting about 1,000 frames per second. I actually put my frames per second ticker on. I actually halve my number of frames per second, but there's 2 milliseconds between frames there. It's not affecting my machine, as you can see. I'm running quite well. This will pause it. I'm actually going to generate a huge map. I'm not sure how many. 15,625 tiles is what it's going to create. So it's just pause while it does that. But these will all be pre-rendered for you in the end. So this is a huge map. If I start to scroll, you can see you can scroll around the map. It's huge. These are all just stone tile types at the moment. There'll be gaps and stairs and steps and, you know, altars and barrels and holes and grass and bushes and rivers and streams and mud and not mud and hay. And you think about it in a D&D game, for example, the kind of stuff you can come up with, that's what they'll be. It's just some other debugging notes up there that I'm going to use. So the control key tells me I'm doing stuff. So, what do I draw? Well, at the moment there's no clipping or pathfinding in this, that they just move directly backward and forward at the moment. And I'm got a character. You can have one character at the moment. I'm going to make it so you can have a party and you can control each member of a party in turn. They'll have their own spells, abilities, whatever. So we could have some bad guys. There's some bad guys there, and they scroll and disappear. All the maths for like minimising what I'm drawing and everything is there. It's literally just drawing this piece of that background texture, and the moment the apples just come into view, they're only being drawn there. They're not being drawn all the time to try and optimise things for lower grade machines. That's why there'll be smaller adventures as well. When I start putting things together or put a map editor together, there'll be a small option to let people with very small amounts of RAM do anything. And if the map is smaller than the screen, it actually stretches it out to fill at least one screen. The screen doesn't have to be this big though. Did that come up? Yeah, there we go. I've actually windowed that. That's in a window now. So I'm only capturing the inner window in Open Broadcast here, but it does scale quite nicely for all that. So that's it, full screen again. Just Alt entered for that and just instantly does it. I saw it instantly. OBS was a bit slower. Anyway, so got some apples. Let's have a hero. Bunch of grapes. The little green arrow there is telling me that that item can move. It has a property, and the property is that it can move. If I click on these, it doesn't do anything. They're inert. They're just lumps. But I can pick that one. As you can see, it tells me I've got it picked. The animations are all temporary again. That's just me in Paint creating things, or Paint MS. Pinching things, writing things, whatever. But things are blended, they're alpha blended. So you've got the stone tile as the backmost item, so stone tile, then the actual fruit character, then the yellow circles, the green arrow, and then the grid on top. So if you watch, as this moves, you'll see that it goes behind the grid. So if we move it there, you see it's moved. I've just clicked, I didn't have to worry about it, it calculates how to go. It just goes the most direct route. I am going to be adding block by block pathfinding. You'll find pathfinding in C# in one of my very, very early videos on this channel, just showing simple algorithms that would sort of find things. And if we've got that, you know, just off the screen, it'll crawl onto the screen. Obviously we need things that I can go to the edge of the screen with the mouse, so we can just see the mouse there. As you scroll back, so it scrolls automatically. We can do things. So that's the very nucleus of what I want to. And notice it didn't scroll while it was moving. There's a reason for that, because the rendering is happened relative to the viewport that I'm using, and the viewport has to fix while it's scrolling, so it's showing you a move that's going off. Now, once I've got these sort of basics of an adventure map in there, which is the next step, and a map editor, which is going to take me a while, as well as some art assets that I haven't stolen, which is going to be terrible. If any artists out there see this, give me a shout. If any sound artists, give me a shout. Otherwise, I'm looking at some 2D stuff online that I can buy off the shelf. So if you want to help, knock me up, push it out, and we'll see what they can do. But the very basics of it is going to be just a role-playing game. I want to play them, and I've looked at Roll20.net, I've looked at several other things, I've looked at online play, I've looked at offline play. You know, here's the start of the GM board that I've been drawing up. There's actually hidden, there's actually layers for the fog of war under here that I don't want people to see when I DM a match. And I want to play myself. I want this to randomly generate me dungeons and let me crawl through them and find traps. Okay, I'll recognise what this, that, or the other is, or I might even make them totally hidden, just totally hide things. But it's a game for me, and it's letting me get some 2D graphics down. I'm learning a lot about offsets and input-output stuff. It's improving my C++. I actually write in C++, well, 2011 at the moment. But I love C++, I really like it, as you'll see from my other reviews of things. It's my go-to language, but I've not got a graphic skill in it. I consider this now a graphic skill. I could do a 2D interface in this. It's also incredibly lightweight. This entire program is about 20k, and there's not a lot. There's a lot in there, but there's not a lot going on. You know, I've got quite a structured class framework of the characters and the tokens being moved, and then I've got the map with a grid, and it's built from an adventure, and adventures can be many adventures, or small, large, etc. And I'm going to build up a library of assets, a library of map items, and once I've got a library of map items, I'll have a library of tokens and go from there. And hopefully, eventually, I'll randomly generate, procedurally generate dungeons, multiple layers. You know, this grid, this that you see, there could be stairs up, and you go up into a new bit, or up into a room, or you open a door and go off the edge and into a new one, or you know, down into another layer, black lamp style maybe. I don't know. Something's going to happen, but I'd like the characters to sit up and look at you face on, a bit like South Park characters. I just like that. I like South Park. I quite like the idea that they'd sit there and this fruit would be its feet, and it would walk across, or back across, and things like that. Things will spin. You've got the rotation there. But I quite like that. As for obstacles, like table, barrels, and stuff like that, they might be top down. Strangely enough, the characters are stood up, but the barrels are top down to give us a juxtapositioning and a cartoony feel. I do want a cartoony feel. Nothing too supercilious. Definitely. But anyway. Apart from that, I'm not busy with work, busy with the wife, and well, he's still here right now. My dog's not very well. He's over there snoring. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm not sharing the code. It's mine. But I will share, letting people play it if they want to. I will share assets. If you guys want to give me some assets, I'll give you some time playing it. Eventually, I guess the thing I'd love to do eventually is to have it in GM mode and host people they watch like on this stream. We play together. Maybe doing the roles through this interface, or doing the roles through some other Pathfinding.net does the roles. But I'm controlling what's going on. This is doing things how I quite like them to be done. As I say, I had tried Pathfinding.net. Didn't like the marketplace thing. I didn't like the slight clunkiness in the web stuff. And it isn't to say this is better. It's just this is doing it the way I like it done, and teaching something. So all kudos goes out to the guys. I really like what they've done. Really like what they've done. Unfortunately, I'm in the UK, and most of the games seem to be played in America on American time. I don't have the time for that. And the few British games I have seen have been well, in the middle of the American day, middle of our night, which is problematic. I don't know which one I click then. It'll come wandering in the minute. Here it comes. There we go. Right. That's that done. Give me a shout if you want to know about it.